Imagine this. Cricket legend Brian Lara is sharing the hidden tales behind his breathtaking world records and his unforgettable career. Picture him on his very first day in the West Indies dressing room. Quite overwhelming, huh? Those intense rivalries lit a fire in him. And here's a rare treat for you, a masterclass on his unique, mesmerizing batting technique. Truly a genius at work.
We're kicking off with a bit of playful banter as the hosts dive into the mental scars left by Brian Lara's astonishing innings. I mean, who could forget those legendary scores of 400 and 501? They're etched in cricket history.
I've captained him when he got 400. Yeah. And then against Durham, he got 501.
When that lad Chris Scott dropped him and turned to first slip and said, "I bet he gets 100." He got 501.
You got bowled off a no ball as well in that game.
Bowled off a no ball, Cummings, and dropped straight behind. Yeah.
We're talking about, like, I dropped Karen Nair on 200 when he was on 30. He got 300. That's 270. But the bloke who no balled him cost him 490.
It's a big one, that.
You won't believe how Brian Lara ventured into golf. He started out left-handed, but then switched to righty thanks to a superstition inspired by another cricket legend. How fascinating is that?
In Montserrat, there's one flight a day. So the game started on Friday, finished on Saturday, but we had to leave on Tuesday. It was a 4-day game. So Simmons said, "Let's go play golf." I said, "Okay, nothing to do. It's 10,000 people and nothing to do in Montserrat." And I played golf left-handed. Crap. Had a birdie on the 18th.
What,
And
first
then-
round?
First round, and then went back playing golf. Par 5, 18th hole, Montserrat. Played golf the next day. Got to Trinidad. Didn't have left-handed clubs, so I wanted to play golf again. Played right-handed. And then I just kept playing golf right-handed. Obviously, there was that saying when, it's roughly in 1994 it was. So that's the time when I broke out with the scores against your country. 375, was it?
375,
Yeah, a couple other scores as well.
Nicely played.
And they start talking about golf affected sobers. He played golf and it affected his game because he's left-handed and, he started to play across the line. I don't know anything. I never saw him play. So I just stuck to right-handed and that was my excuse.
Picture young Brian Lara finally meeting his cricket idols. But on his very first day in the West Indies dressing room, he was so overwhelmed, he found solace in the bathroom. Imagine that.
I got an opportunity to play with him. And my first test match was in Trinidad. And I got the letter from the board, you're on the team, report 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning for practice. And I got there at 8, start a little practice on the Queen's Park over with my brother. And then the team arrived, and this is all my heroes. Viv, Greenwich, Haynes, Malcolm Marshall, everybody, all the big boys. And they went into the dressing room, tiny dressing room back in those days, and I said to my brother, time I go say hello to my teammates. And whilst walking into the dressing room, my cricket bag came flying out of the dressing room, everything just all over the place. I picked it up, packed it back, and I walked out into the dressing room. And where I placed my bag is where Sir Vivian placed his bag.
Oh, no.
So I spent the first 5 days of my test career in the bathroom. Right?
Ever wondered where Brian Lara's genius sprang from? Well, plot twist, he owes his spine mastery to intense street cricket battles. Those gritty games taught him survival at its finest.
Well, I think playing cricket with kids like my bigger brothers, in the streets fighting for a knock, And one of the reasons why I think I was very good at spin is because we'd take the flannel ball, the tennis ball, and they will chuck it into the pitch. So that would spin a mile. And so I learned to play spin a lot. In Barbados, they tape the ball and they go on the beach and they bowl it at 95 miles an hour. They can play good fast bowling. My ability to play spin was, and it's just that mentality of when you get a knock on the streets, you're not going to get one. If you get a knock on Monday evening, you're not going to get one until about Wednesday. So you really got to hang in there.
Imagine the bedlam. Brian Lara breaks a world record and chaos ensues. The game halted for a full 20 minutes while the crowd and even chicken sellers swarmed the field. What a scene!
It was brilliant, the atmosphere. And then when Brian, I can still remember, Chrissy Lewis bowled it, didn't he? And he's come back to me, I'm at mid-on. And he was all, we're knackered, we can't get him out. We're never going to get him out, we're never going to get him out. Like that. So he said, what shall I do? You know, what shall I do? I said, listen, make him bump, you know. Don't just give him a little, you know, make him hit.
Was this for the record?
This was for the record, yeah. And Chrissy's gone up there and bang. And the place went mental. The game stopped for about 20 minutes. Yeah. Didn't it? Chicken sellers came on, everyone was dancing, Sir Garfield came out.
He did.
Yeah.
Were you coach?
No.
No, it was the most amazing
No.
20 minutes I think I've had in mid-cricket.
Just lie
I
down.
sat down, I just sat down on the boundary edge and just everyone was running about. It was incredible.
Have you still got the bat?
Brian Lara has no regrets about one bowler he dominated, Andy Caddick. Imagine Caddick proudly claiming he'd studied Lara, only to be completely outplayed. You have to laugh.
So the guy who I didn't feel sorry for was Andy Caddick, because he felt like every time he played a good shot off for him, it's because he bowled a bad ball. And it's not because you know. So every time I destroyed him, it was fine. But the guy who I really felt sorry for was the guy who he found the middle of my bat all the time. That was Matthew Hogarth. He just found the middle every day, in swing at the middle of my bat, out swing at the middle of my bat. So I used to feel sorry for him when Mikey put him on, you know.
Picture this. Brian Lara at his lowest with an unfriendly home crowd. But then, a teammate's extraordinary act of sportsmanship turned everything around. A pivotal moment in his legendary career.
They were ready. I mean, when I walked out the toss with Steve Hoy, he said, well, what you did these people? I said, nothing, but this is the last time they're going to have a chance to do that. And you know, as a captain, you lost the toss, they're going to go to bat. As a captain, you take that 5 meters in front of your teammates and you take them on. I was scared because the Headley stand is right there, right? And you know, they used to sell Red Stripe, the bottled drink. So I was really scared. I was honestly scared.
Did it get that bad?
I mean, they were up in arms. And as I walked on past the rope, I felt an arm on my shoulder. Guess who it was? Courtney Walsh.
Oh.
The best thing, I mean, he being Jamaican, he's the guy who I replaced as captain.
Yes.
Put his hand around my shoulder and walked me onto the field.
Class.
Oh, wow.
Class.
Yeah,
Class.
Brian Lara settles the age-old debate on the finest spinner he ever encountered. Despite Muirlatharan's mystique, it was Shane Warne's unparalleled mental grit that crowned him the greatest. That's saying something.
Would he be one of the best you've faced?
He is the best. He is the best. And he's the best. And, you know, I'd walk out to bat against Murley.
Yeah.
And I'm confused. You know, I got that 688 runs in 3 matches. And the first half an hour of Murley, I'd be confused. I'd play a sweep shot down to deep backward square for a single. You know, I'd play a sweep shot again. And then all of a sudden, you know, because it's the other guys didn't read him. He's like, oh, take out the no bat for Lara, nothing. Let's move everybody out. And all of a sudden the pressure came off. But Murley gave me more pressure than Shane. But I'd walk out to bat against Shane, and the ball be coming off the middle, every ball, and about 2 p.m., 3 p.m., he just produces this magical delivery or spell. And that's why I rate him higher, because I think he was mentally stronger. Yeah. And obviously with his bowling attack and the pitches that he bowled on, which favoured, you know, the McGraths and McDermotts, and for him to pick up that amount of wickets, very, very special.
With the bat in hand, Brian Lara offers a rare treat, a masterclass. Watch as he showcases his iconic trigger move and shares how he tweaked his famed technique to tackle pace versus spin. Remarkable insights.
So I think this action here had to do with a lot with the pace of the bowler. Someone's bowling, you know, when I faced the late Malcolm Marshall or Joel Garner, you know, I wasn't one of those guys very passive in my crease and allow everything to happen. I needed to get my movements have to be in sync with what's happening, with the pace of the ball. The guy's coming in, Brett Lee's coming in, I'm patting here, and I'm like, you know, But the most important thing, that's secondary. My left toe is on off stump. My left eye is on off stump, so I know where that is. And from there, everything just comes into play. That's me. It's not about this or getting speed from it. It was just so my body movement was very important. You know, and then again, I'd tell you, I'd face pace. And my first movement pace is here, back and across, or you jump. I can't jump. My knees are bad. So I jump in a position here. Yeah. But again, spin, it's here. You know, and from here I can get back and cut. I can sweep. I can chip in and drive and stuff like that.
And your bat lift changes to spin.
From raw talent honed in street cricket skirmishes to the mental strength needed to shatter world records and inspire a nation, Brian Lara's story is a masterclass in genius, resilience, and a profound love for the game. Truly awe-inspiring.